Hey, guess I'm going outside. Aloha, everyone. I am in Hawaii. I made it here. And just got out of the shower. I have like 5 minutes or 15 minutes. So I'm going to sit out here on my little patio and do a live stream. The sun's a little... Oh. There we go. Okay. Alright, so client attraction. If you haven't been watching my live streams, hey Don, how are you? If you haven't been watching my live streams, you need to go watch them for the past 3 or 4 days, because I talk a lot about how to attract your ideal coaching business. Hey Heidi, I will see you on Wednesday. Super excited about that. Okay, so I'm going to move the comments and everything in case you do make a comment to the side, but because I only have a very short period of time. But I talked about, if you haven't watched those previous live streams, and even if you haven't watched those, I would go back and watch Passive Income as well. Those were last week, their live streams, or not last week, but the week before. Just go back through the thread and look for all the live streams that I've done and watch them, because there's a lot of detail here and a lot of stuff. So if you're just starting your coaching business, and by the way, my coaching certification program starts July 23rd, and we can get you started right away. And basically what I do is I help you understand mindset on a very deep level, and I help you understand how to coach the right way and how to attract clients and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, everything that you need in order to have a thriving mindset coaching business. And also, if you want to involve mindset in your business more so, for business coaches, it's imperative for you to get good at mindset. So with that in mind, I went into a lot of detail over the past few live streams about what you need to do in order to have a thriving coaching business and what I really think that you should do. And one of them is to get your first 10 one-on-one clients. And for that, someone asked, what do you recommend to attract your first 10 one-on-one clients? And the number one thing that I want to address is how to attract the ones that you want and how to avoid attracting ones that you don't want. And so if you have any issues with relationships, what I would do, first of all, is write down, what are you afraid of in terms of your past relationships? So are you afraid of being gaslighted, dealing with narcissists? Are you afraid of dealing with people who are, not appreciative of the value that you provide? Are you, do you deal with over giving in relationships and not receiving? How do you deal in your relationships with people? Because clients, it is a relationship. It's all a relationship. So if you have issues with relationships, you're probably going to be afraid to get clients, especially long-term one-on-one clients. So that's the most important thing there. So I would take a pen and paper and write down what are your patterns in relationships? And so and I would also write down your patterns of relationships with people with work, because that's going to be a really good indicator of your fears. It doesn't necessarily mean that's what you're going to attract in your business, but it's probably what you're afraid of attracting subconsciously. And the next thing that you want to do is you want to let go of those situations. And I highly recommend, especially if you've been with codependency, over-delivering. And when I say over-delivering, always giving way too much. That's going to show up as you over-delivering and getting people who aren't going to get the kind of results that you're looking for. This is going to involve them not showing up the way that they need to. This is going to deal with them wanting to cancel their contracts, wanting to get out of, doing the work, wanting to blame you for their incapabilities, wanting to, make you feel like who are going to compete with you, who are going to steal stuff from you, stuff like that. So you really want to be careful. You may think, oh, I want to attract this type of client and this type of client and this type of client, but really you're dealing with a whole other fucking animal, because it's all about relationships. People can't figure out why they get screwed over in business, and it's because it's a relationship thing. There's patterns in your relationships that you have to be aware of and you have to be careful about. I can't go into a whole lot of detail because I've got a call in 2 minutes or 11 minutes. So the other thing is that, so you want to write all that shit down. And you also want to make sure that you get clear on, what was I going to say? You want to get clear on your fears about recreating those dynamics in client relationships. Because if you are afraid of having codependent relationships because you have codependent relationships, well, how does that show up with your clients? It shows up as you giving them breaks in terms of like their payments, late payments. It shows up in the fact of like you being very relaxed about not signing contracts, you doing free work, you wanting to work with them until they get a result, you wanting to saying I'll work with you until you get a result. No, they need to show up and do the work. Wanting to literally take their results as your responsibility. So like if you're doing all those things, you're going to resist getting high-end clients. You're going to resist getting clients in general because it's a lot of fucking pressure on you, and it's really, really important. So the very first thing that you need to do is you need to really clear out all your fears around attracting the types of clients that you want to attract. And because like that's the number one reason why you're not attracting the clients that you want. That's the one reason why you're not attracting 10 one-on-one clients. And so if you want to really understand how to coach properly and how to stay in alignment and form really good client relationships, you need to get in my July 23rd coaching certification program. And like you really want to learn how to coach, because the thing about it is I said this like a week or so ago, like selling is coaching. You're coaching somebody through the sale. So if you're not coaching the person through the sale, then you're not showing up the way that you need to in order for them to get the results. Another thing about that is like when you're not holding the space of saying like they're not showing up to the table, then you're not holding the place of, holding them accountable. So do you have a habit of not holding people accountable in relationships? Do you get screwed over in relationships? Do you walk away from relationships? Are you a commitment phobe? That type of thing in relationships. Are you, like I already covered, if people expect you to do all the work, if you're not getting the needs that you have in relationships, that's going to show up as you not getting paid, you attracting a lot of people that want to work with you but can't find the money type of thing. So now that I've covered that, I think that's pretty clear. But there's a lot of shit there, and I highly recommend if you have a lot of relationship issues and you've had a lot of relationship issues, you get with a coach. And I highly recommend you get with me because I've had a lot of history working with people on fears of attracting the wrong types of clients, and I've attracted the wrong types of clients, and I've learned a lot about client attraction. And 9 times out of 10, like 99.9% of the time, I've only had like 2 clients in the past 3 years who've been thoroughly able to describe their clients in very, very specific detail. The second thing that I would say about client attraction is you need to be very, very clear on the amount of money that they make, because they can't pay your rates if they don't make the kind of money that you need for them to make. Like I've had clients say like, oh, she makes 50 to 60 grand a year, and they want to charge 2 to 5 grand a month for a program and shit like that. If I'm making 60 grand a year, I'm probably not going to invest at that level. It's a stretch. And yeah, you want to like stretch people in terms of like their investment, but you don't want the vast majority of your ideal client to be making that kind of money unless you really, really believe that you're really, really good. The majority of people who buy from my boot camps, et cetera, they're making anywhere from 60 to 100 grand, but it's $2,000. And it's also, I'm very, 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 very confident in my ability to help people get results, and that goes through. Now, was I completely confident when I was just starting out? No. And for my high-end coaching, it's like they're going to be 6 to 7 figure, multiple 7-figure earners. Like even the 6-figure earners, they're going to have money in the bank, or they're going to have some sort of money coming in. So it's like understanding all those things about their financial situation is imperative, because the financial situation is like pretty much the most important thing. Because if they can't do that, then you can't have a client. The second thing, like I said, is like, it's the first thing. I don't know if I should have said whichever, take it, flip-flop it around, is understanding the relationship issues. Because even if you don't charge anything, you're not going to attract clients because you're afraid of getting on the phone with them because of relationship issues. And if you're nervous about working with one-on-one clients or working with clients in general, there's probably a fear of relationships in some way, shape, or form. The third thing that I would say is, and the last thing I'm going to say right now is you have to understand like how to get out there and market yourself. Are you getting out there and marketing yourself consistently? And how are you talking to that one-on-one client? So what is your offer and what kind of results are they going to get? So this person that in number 1 and number 2, those types of things, like once you clear out all your relationship crap, who do you really want to work with and what's most important to you? Because when I first began my business, I wanted to attract people who got results, who are really powerful, who are fun, who are cool, and just went on a rampage about that. And I attracted a lot of fun, cool, exciting, who got results clients, but there were, internal, like their personalities, though they were cool, it didn't match. So you want to be very clear about the types of heart connections that you have in terms of your clients. You need to be, just because you want them to get results and they can get results, doesn't mean you're going to connect on a deep, deep level where you'd want to spend time with them outside of work. And you want to really ask yourself those types of questions. The last thing, or like I'm going back and forth here. And so in terms of like talking to that type of person, the way you would talk to me is different than the way you would talk to somebody who's a multiple 6-figure earner, who is very shy, who's dealing with different issues than I'm dealing with. Me, depending on the way that you talk about it, the way is going to be received differently than somebody who may be different. Or maybe it's the same dynamic. You don't know, but you've got to tune into, once you understand their real qualities, then you tune into what needs to be said to them in order for them to get a result. So it's kind of like, well, if I provide the result of, helping you, whoopsies, okay. If I provide the result of you having a healthy body, then how are you going to talk to me about having a healthy body? Well, having a healthy body is not necessarily going to interest me that much. It's got to come across from a different perspective. It's got to come across from a mindset perspective. Another client of mine that's like making, the same amount of money, you could say that, and she might respond, but she's looking for more of an end result. You've got to understand how to talk to them about features and stuff like that. And that comes with selling. It comes with understanding the mental side of your market. It really, honestly, my belief is it doesn't really involve selling if you're aligned and your person that you're talking to. If you can talk to the person like, hey, I know what's going inside your head, let me tell you that I have the answer and the result that you're looking for, then you get a client. Plain and simple. But you got to be able to put yourself out there on an ongoing basis so they actually fucking see you. I had a client who was like, higher level clients aren't, watching live streams and blah, 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 blah. And I was like, I watch live streams if the title fits, if there's something that interests me, if they've consistently shown interesting posts, then if they put out a live stream or something, then I'm actually going to watch it. So you need to think about how they think in terms of your clients. So that's that. If you have any questions, you can post them in the comments. And also, what was I going to say? The coaching certification starts July 23rd. And if you want in, get in while it's hot. Everybody who just hopped on, you need to rewatch this because it's super, super valuable information. It's super quick, but it's super, super valuable. Write this shit down, get in, get clear, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye. Or mahalo.